Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mandy and I'm here to support the Epi Dog owner. A little of my story is my dog Ruby has been diagnosed with epilepsy for about 4 years now. And here's a lot of my tips and tricks that I've learned along the way. Today what I want to show you is how to make a banana pill treat. It's a soft pill treat that makes it super easy to give your dog their meds. They won't even know that the pill is in there. So stick around and I'll show you how to make it. So the ingredients that I'm using today are super simple. Some you might already have in your kitchen. The other ones I would recommend purchasing them. They will last for a very long time. You can make a lot of pill treats out of it, and some of these ingredients I use for myself anyway, so I like having them around. So obviously the first is a banana. You'll want to have a banana that's a little bit more ripe and a little easier to mash. The next ingredient that I'm going to be using today is oat flour. So I typically have been using for the flours in the pill treats the Bob's Red Mill. So this one is the oat flour. This one is just super easy to work with. I really like using oat flour with her pill treats. It has worked out really well. I also am going to be using a beef gelatin. So in my previous videos, you probably saw me using the Great Lakes brand, which is a great brand. This Now Real Food brand is also an excellent one that I often use. And this is a beef gelatin powder that just dissolves very, very easily. It really helps kind of create that consistency that helps the dough stay together. So I would recommend this. This is less expensive than the Great Lakes beef gelatin. So economically, it's a great buy to have. So out of all of these, sometimes the gelatin I have struggled to find in just a regular grocery store. There are some stores around my area that carry the Great Lakes and sometimes the Now Real Food gelatin. However, sometimes it's hit or miss, or I have to make a special trip to that store. So if you're in an area that you aren't seeing a product like this, or even some of the flours within the grocery store themselves, I did link them below. If you want to purchase them on Amazon, the links are right there. And that's it. For this pill treat, the banana itself serves as enough moisture. You don't have to add a liquid, but just like any of the pill treats, sometimes it's hit or miss. Maybe you added more flour than you realized, or it just comes out a little bit drier than you were expecting, or it's not as easy to use it. So feel free to adjust as needed. If you need to add a little bit of water, you can always do that. Or if it seems just too wet, you can place it in the refrigerator for about 10-15 minutes or so, depending on how much you need it to firm up a little bit more. And with that, we will get into the recipe. So first what we're going to do is we are going to mash the banana. So just put a couple pieces into the bowl to make it a little bit easier to mash, and then go ahead and use a fork. To be honest, my banana could have been a little bit more ripe. I usually wait till they're almost past the point of no return before I use it for this recipe, but I just had to use what I had today. You'll just want to make sure that you're getting all of the major lumps out of it and mashing it as much as you can. You're going to notice that there also is starting to become some liquid, which is great. That's going to help you with the banana dough. So once the banana is completely mashed, you're going to want to then take the beef gelatin and add 1 tablespoon of it to the banana mixture. And what this is going to do is by stirring this in, it just helps the gelatin start to dissolve in the moisture of the banana. So your last ingredient you're going to add is the oat flour. So add 4 tablespoons of the oat flour directly into the banana and gelatin mixture. I have run out of enough oat flour in this bag, so I'm just quickly grabbing a new bag of oat flour. That's how much I use it around this house. We always have extra bags. So I've got the 4 tablespoons of oat flour into the mixture. Next up is just simply stir it. Stir it well so all of the ingredients get mixed in together. Once all the ingredients have been stirred as best as you can together, you're going to notice that the dough is kind of wet. And so at this point, it's going to be very difficult to form any sort of a pill treat with it. So finally, you are going to place it into the refrigerator. I usually put it in there for about 30 minutes, and then I'll come back and make the treats. Okay, I just pulled the dough out of the refrigerator. I had it in there for probably about 30 minutes as I kind of cleaned up and did some other things. But just by testing it, I can tell it has definitely firmed up quite a bit. And so it's now ready for me to form the pill treats. You don't have to form the pill treats. If you wanted to, you could leave it just like this. Maybe put some saran wrap over it. Ideally, I would say put it into an airtight container so it doesn't dry out. You really want it to kind of last over the week. But leaving it just as a dough ball is a great option if your dog takes multiple different size pills. So if you have a tablet and a capsule that you have to give, or just different size pills, leaving it just as the dough and then pulling off what you need as you need it is a great option. I'm going to show you how I make the pill treats for Ruby. She takes a tablet for her medication that is the same size. So I usually create the pill treats ahead of time just so they're ready to go and super easy to use. So I'll show you that next. To create the pill treats, what you're gonna do is you're gonna pinch off the amount of dough that is needed based on your dog's size and the pill that they take. Ruby's a little over 80 pounds, so she's pretty good size. You can see here the whole tablespoon. I decided that was just too big. I didn't need to have that much dough. So I then will take the dough and I will put it around my finger and just form the dough around my finger to create the hole where the pill will go. The dough can get a little sticky, so if midway through the batch you may need to rinse off your hands, it might help the process a little bit too, but for the most part this is pretty easy dough to work with. I typically will put my pill treats into a glass Pyrex that has a cover. It stays nice in the refrigerator, airtight, and they stay soft all week. It's super easy to work with. So this is what I continue to do through until all of the dough is done, and I have pill treats then for almost the whole week for Ruby. So there you have it. It's as easy as that. We have our banana pill treats for the week. Ruby loves these. She's here just in time to give it a try. So what I would do, sorry Ruby, is I would take a pill, I would put it in there, and then I would just squish the dough together, almost creating like just the ball of dough again, and you would never know that there was a pill in there. So give it a try. So good stuff. If you like this recipe and you want more ideas for ways to make a soft homemade pill treat at home that is definitely healthier and less expensive than the version that you buy in the store-bought pill treats, please check out my homemade pill treat book below in the description. And it has over 30 some recipes for different options you can try, along with a lot of other pilling tips and tricks. So definitely check that out. And also I want to encourage you, based on what you know about your dog and what your dog likes, to create your own pill treat at home. It's a fun little project for if you have kids or grandkids to come up with some recipes. Also, in my book, if you don't want to have to mash the banana, there is a hack for creating the banana pill treat without going through the step of mashing a banana. So you'll have to check that out in my book. Otherwise, thank you for joining me again today. Thank you, Ruby, for being my taste tester. She has learned exactly the time to come into the kitchen and kind of hang out when she knows I'm making these, which is pretty funny. But I hope this helps. This is a great option. They do need to be refrigerated because there are no preservatives. It's only nutrient dense whole foods that is a much healthier option for your dog, especially if your dog has epilepsy. So have a good day, and I'll see you next time. One more, okay? One more little one, and then we gotta save them. Okay? There, good girl. Okay, all done. Thank you for helping. Yeah, good girl. I know you like bananas.